Action Against Hunger was created over 30 years ago as a result of the Afghanistan conflict. There were hundreds of thousands of people that were displaced because of the political strife, and they were faced with deplorable conditions, no access to water or food. What we realized very quickly, though, is that it was not isolated to just this scenario, is that these were happening across the world. And throughout the years, as these scenarios have arisen, whether it be earthquakes in Haiti or political conflicts in Nigeria or Kenya, we've rallied to address them. A couple of realizations along the way, though. We realized we had to be effective and efficient. We had to find very low cost but high intensity solutions to these problems, and we needed to enlist the people who were challenged with these very same issues in providing the solution, in paving that path to self-sustainability. Action Against Hunger's sole objective is ending global deadly malnutrition. We want to ensure that children are not dying from hunger. We work to achieve this in a couple of different ways. We're on the ground implementing solutions. We're providing children who are on the brink of starvation with the resources they need to live. We achieve this by using something called ready-to-use therapeutic food. Basically, this is a packet of paste that is either peanut butter or beans or some kind of protein infused with a micronutrient formula that has everything that a child needs to live. If you give a child who is on the verge of starvation, a child who cannot process food naturally, you provide 3 of these packets. Each packet costs about 33 cents, so in $1 a day you can provide that child life. Provide that solution for over 4 to 6 weeks, and you bring that child back to full health and give them a future. We also build wells. We provide access to clean water and to sanitation. We lay pipes to clean water sources. We teach people about hygiene. We also work on the long-standing issues, providing people with the knowledge and skills to take back their lives and break out of that cycle of deadly hunger. Whether it be farmers in Nigeria, giving them access to the knowledge of how to stagger their crops and change their storage methods, or working with women in Uganda and teaching business skills and how they can work collectively to regain their financial self-sustainability. In all these ways, our efforts are, again, charged towards one effort. We want to stop people dying from hunger. Action Against Hunger provides short-term and long-term solutions. We believe in first things first, being on the ground implementing solutions that prevent people from dying. But on a longer term, we look at enlisting local partners, whether it be from government or the community or other NGOs, to be a part of our solutions. It's no accident that 99% of our staff in the countries are from those countries. We believe they have a part in providing this solution. Action Against Hunger's approach is holistic. We look at a problem from many different angles, trying to understand it and address it in the way that is important uniquely to that context. We employ best practices, institute the latest technology, but there are times that the cultural context might be more important. For example, in a rural setting, if we're building a well, there may be more advanced technological solutions available, pumps with many different parts that are used in other settings. But we look at the fact that that community wouldn't have the resources or the knowledge to repair such a solution. So we would then implement a very simple foot pump that they could maintain, they could repair, and they could find the resource if they needed if something happened. In that way, we then remove ourselves as the most important player in that situation. We now put the community in a place where they have the resources and the skills and the knowledge to act independently. At Action Against Hunger, we measure everything. We look at, first and foremost, the number of people who have benefited from our interventions. Over the last year, we've served over 7.4 million people. That's children, families, communities. Additionally, we evaluate all aspects of the projects we're involved in. We look for impact, we look for sustainability, we look for effectiveness and efficiency. We also subject ourselves to external valuations, outside firms that are looking at how we do the work we do. And we take the data we get from them to improve our process. We're also able to disseminate that information across the field and improve other organizations as well. I don't think that people understand the full impact of some of the work that we do. Most recently, it was noted by some of the world's top economists that investment in childhood nutrition and fighting malnutrition is one of the world's best investments. More so than the environment, more so than many other causes that are quite worthy. But that the impact of giving children back their health, establishing an appropriate nutrition regimen for them, has an impact not only on the individual, on their family, on their community, ultimately on the world. Another, I think, misperception about our organization is that Action Against Hunger is simply an international organization. We actually do a lot of work here in the U.S. We have a domestic platform called the Race Against Hunger. It's a service learning initiative that gives information into schools, side by side with their ongoing curriculum, where children are learning about global hunger, they're learning about a world bigger than themselves and how they can play a part in that, and essentially they're also learning about that critical factor of nutrition. Last year alone, we had over 15,000 children go through this in 22 different states in 70 different schools. In the 1990s, Action Against Hunger was principally involved in the development of the F1 formula. This was a critical tool in terms of fighting deadly malnutrition. This formula contained everything that was necessary for a child to regain their health. It was used in the field and its implementation was very successful. It cut death rates by 70%. One of the challenges is that it was not something that stored very well and you needed access to clean water. You also needed a treatment center where you were able to provide the treatment. Most recently in the 2000s, those very same scientists were involved in taking that formula and combining it with peanut butter or some other kind of protein paste. And now we're able to provide something called ready-to-use therapeutic food that we can give to families. They can take this home and provide treatment at home. Already, just that modification has cut death rates by 90%. In addition, Action Against Hunger is very proud of the work we've done in emergency response. Whether it be the earthquake in Haiti or the long-standing hunger crisis in the Horn of Africa, our team has been on the ground providing very effective, very efficient, and very positive solutions. If ever there was a group of people ready to face a challenge, it's humanitarian aid workers. Our team works in some of the most conflict-ridden and natural disaster-prone areas on the planet, which can create difficulties in terms of logistics, access to supplies, and more. But we have the expertise to work efficiently and effectively in these situations. Another challenge is that sometimes our institutional donors fund programs only, without providing resources for areas like staffing, evaluation, and financial stewardship of grants. That's why raising private funds is so critical. You can help us to unlock that institutional funding. Without a doubt, more resources will translate into more lives saved from malnutrition. Every $45 donation allows us to give a complete treatment regimen to a child, and we know that right now we are only reaching somewhere between 3 and 9% of the children affected with acute malnutrition. With your help, we can reach more, many more. Additional funding will allow us to scale up our programs in countries like South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Pakistan. We currently serve 7.4 million people around the world, and with your help, that reach can only grow. We'd like to see growth by increasing capacity building for communities, expanding to new countries, and increasing awareness for the hunger crisis. Our capacity building goal is to increase our efforts to build resilience in communities by growing our food security programming, collaborating with local ministries of health, and training local residents to run programs. Our expansion goal is to open our doors to new areas of need. We're already planning new programs in Cambodia. And of course, we want everyone to know that global hunger can be eradicated. Our Every Child Needs campaign lets you be a part of that solution.